Hey, had a chance to watch a new series, um, a newer one from 2024, and definitely blew my mind, so to speak. Definitely took my breath away with the acting and the atmosphere of it, and um, the direction it went was very surprising. It definitely took. It wasn't predictable, and sometimes things that are not predictable are better, even if it's a bad outcome. If it Even if it's bad, it was surprising. So I'll say that, and I will also say that Colin Farrell, who I have not seen in since 2006, I don't think I saw him since Daredevil, did good. Which he was in SWAT and Daredevil and Phone Booth. Did good in this little series, that being the Penguin. And not everyone's a fan, and I get that because they don't understand the point, first of all. And I was pissed off. Believe me, I was very pissed off about the ending. I was, but I had time to think about it and breathe in a little bit, and I just sort of put the pieces together, and I needed time from the, I needed time to adjust to that ending because it was a very savage, so to speak, ending. It was very savage. The Penguin is a very savage character himself, and Colin Farrell just smoked it. He smoked it. He took it like this. He fucked it and he smoked it. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant TV series from beginning to end. My anxiety was wild through the whole fucking thing, literally. That Colin Farrell did great as our Penguin, our Batman villain, which Batman is not in the show. So if you're thinking this is a Marvel show or a DC, it's DC. But if you're thinking you're going to see a superhero, you won't. This is based strictly on villains, and I find that very captivating. That we get a show focusing on our villains a little bit and talking about their backstory and their lives. There's a girl named Sophia, brought up in a rich crime family, and some bad shit goes down, and she gets put away by her father, put into a Arkham put into Arkham prison, which is a sane asylum for lunatics, and people are attacking her and they're zapping her head and they're doing all sorts of abusive shit to her, and I feel bad for her throughout this whole series. I feel bad for this character through the whole series. I really do. I feel for her. I truly am 100% feel for this character. I loved her. I loved her. I really did. Yeah, Sophia is played by Kristen Milioti. I want to say Milioti. Milioti. I'll say Milioti. Milioshi? I don't know. I'm not sure how you say that. But yeah, she was great. I loved her. She was intimidating. She was believable. You could tell there was hurt in her eyes throughout the series. She was very hurt. And I have to say, I'm very disappointed in her ending. I will say that. I will say that. I'm very disappointed in her outcome. I don't want to give away too much spoilers, but I am going to talk about the series a little bit because I liked it. I liked it a lot. Um, Colin Farrell obviously he did a bang up job. You know, at times I forgot it was Colin Farrell. At times I forgot it was him. It doesn't even sound like him at times. He did a good job at portraying. It was sort of a, what I want to say, a Tony Soprano vibe, you know, with between the relationship that he had between him and his mother, who has dementia, and she does not have long to live, and with the character that he befriends off the streets, who is a kid from the ghetto and who's robbing shit, named Victor. Which I guess the whole neighborhood is ghetto, really. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, no, the whole neighborhood it's Gotham. You know, it looks like Gotham. It's like literally a great portrayal of Gotham. And this kid named Victor, he's actually robbing him in the beginning. And Colin finds him. Penguin finds him. And the other kids run off. And they're troublemakers, for sure. The kid stays. Well, he doesn't stay, but he gets caught there. Colin's already got a gun pointed at his head, so, or something like that. I don't know if he had a gun point. I don't know if he had a gun pointed at him or how he stayed. I don't remember really how that was, but I know he stayed. And you know what? He should have kept fucking going. Now, part of me feels like, okay, there's this Penguin character, and he wants to do somewhat good. He takes in this character, Victor, off the street. He takes care of him. He feeds him. He clothes him. He takes him under his wing. He makes him feel special, makes him feel important. Shit like that. Makes him feel like he's part of something, even though he felt like he was nothing before, because he was robbing shit and he had no money, and things are tight. And he probably barely ate. The thoughts that came to my mind were, he was very hungry, he was very lost, very lonely. Victor's character, that is. He was in a very tough environment. He had to adapt to it, and he found Penguin's character. Penguin actually found him robbing his shit and took him in. Let me just tell you something right now. I don't want you to go into this series expecting a happy story or a happy outcome or a happy beginning even, or a happy ending even. A happy fucking blowjob, whatever. This is not a happy show, if you catch my drift. It's not supposed to be. It is regarding a villain from the Batman comics. Literally. Penguin. Which I've watched the original Batman movies, and I don't recall him being in the mob. But yes, there was a lot of other people that followed him, and maybe I need to rewatch them, and I need to educate myself, and I will. But, you know, from my recollection, I don't remember much of that, but I did like the series, first of all. Second of all, do not go into it expecting happiness, because you will not get it. If you want evil, you go into it. You know, we're relying on this character who is a Batman villain. People forget the word villain. Villain. They forget that fucking word. Literally. It's not a superhero. He's a bad guy. He still is a bad guy. That's what I have to remember. And that's where I lost my train of thought throughout the series. Especially towards the end. I was losing it. I was like, who am I voting for? What the fuck? I'm supposed to be rooting for what the fuck? Like, literally. And 100%, like, I was rooting Sophia almost through the whole thing because of her abuse. She had abuse in her life. Her father put her in a Arkham institution where she was beaten quite a bit. Well, they don't show her getting beaten, but like she gets messed with in her head. They zap her a few times, things like that. One girl's messing with her in the cafeteria. She loses it. She picks up the tray. She cracks her over the head. Actually, a few times bashes her head against the table. You know, there are shows that make you smile, and there are shows that are tough to watch. This is tough to watch. If you are sensitive to, if you're a Marvel fan, which Marvel's been weak and tame and generic lately, if you like Marvel, you probably like the comedic shit. You probably like the funny, which this is not Marvel, this is DC, I get it, but it still kind of correlates. It's superheroes, and Batman might get involved or something like that, or who knows how they'll connect it later on. But yeah, I mean, I was sort of disappointed with the outcome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I won't. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I was disappointed with the outcome. I was. It made me uninterested. Towards the end we get a, and again, spoilers if you're watching. Towards the end we get a backstory about Oswald and how he locked his brothers in a sort of sewer system, and his mother knew all along that Oswald did this because he wanted his mother all to himself. He was a psycho freak. And the show definitely does a good job explaining that he's like that. He is crazy. He's not sane. Even though within the first 5 or 6 episodes he seems like an okay guy, like he wants to take this kid under his wing and make him part of his deal and make him part of his club. He wants to bring him in and show him the ropes, make him part of it, you know. Uh, I was disappointed in the last episode. I was, but it's only season 1, so it blew my mind. It really blew my fucking mind. It fucking blew it. I just, I can't even. I just, sorry. I just, I was taken with surprise, literally. If you have a, if you are, if you have a weak stomach, or if you have a weak, if you're just happy-go-lucky and I like Marvel, I like rainbows, this is not the show for you. This is very dark. Definitely focused on the comics of Joker. Sorry, not Joker. I like Joker. Penguin. I don't know if this correlates with the comics. I don't actually. I don't know if this correlates with that, but it definitely correlates with how dark the son of a bitch is. He's not a good guy, even though the whole time you're kind of sitting there thinking, okay, he's tied up. He's in a vulnerable situation. His mother's tied up too. Should I be rooting for this character? The truth is, I was not, because I don't like him. I have no reason to like Oswald throughout most of the series. He doesn't do much good things. He's in it for himself. He runs a club. Vic runs off. At one point, he gets a text from an old girlfriend, and he wants to go live with her. There's a bus. He has to catch it, and it's Victor's choice between if he catches the bus with his girlfriend and runs away with her, or stays working with Oswald. And that's kind of a tough situation to put a kid through. And I'm sitting there thinking, don't tell him, man, just go. Anyway, it slips out. Vic's in the bathroom. Oswald catches him. He sees the text messages. That was sad. He saw him, and Vic had no choice but to tell him so. It's in a way like, with all these situations happening and everything, all these tough scenarios, Vic just learns to grow balls throughout the series, and that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for Victor to have redemption and be a tough guy. Like there's a guy following him on the street because he wants to do a deal with him and Oswald. He shoots him in the neck, but he's still crying, so you can tell he's still soft. He's a soft character. He's not tough. He's not made for this life. I was hoping along the way I would see sort of a Breaking Bad Bryan Cranston type of feel from Victor, like his dark side would sort of come out or something like that. And man, was I wrong. 100% fucking wrong. I was not right at all. Like, it was just a total 180. It went in a complete 180. I was not expecting that. I'm not going to say anything. Do yourself a favor and do watch the show, though. It's a good show. It is. I think that I think most of the good characters are gone. I just, I don't really know what to say other than I hated the ending. Yeah, I hated it. I completely fucking hated this ending. Vic came from a bad background to begin with. No, I wouldn't say really 100%, I guess, bad, but, his family, they were not rich people. He wasn't in a he wasn't in the best area, in one of the best predicaments, and there were a lot of punks that he hung out with and who robbed shit, and they were bad influences, and they did bad shit, and they did drugs, and his girlfriend wanted him to run away from him. I think he should have just ran away with her. I think he should have, because I feel for the kid. I do. I wish this kid got away. I just do. Oswald's mother has dementia, and she is very senile. She doesn't know what's going on half the time. At times, they show flashbacks of Oswald when he was a kid. And he's like, "Yeah, Ma, don't worry, I'll do right by you." and they're dancing together, and she's hoping he'll do right by her, but it's in her dementia mind when she's tied up and taken away by Sophia's character. Sophia, who, by the way, should have been the main character to begin with. This girl's like Alias. She deserves her own series. Why you did not focus more of the series on her, I don't know. I found her story more fucking intriguing than Penguin's story. And I know that's sad to hear. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. That's my truth. Sophia was more interesting than Oswald. And I hate saying that. I'm sorry. But it's true. She was hot as shit. She was interesting. I did not know what she was going to do. Half the time, she is very crazy looking. She has crazy eyes. There's these big beady eyes. You know, you don't know what she'll do next because she's a crazy bitch. So, whether she'll be, cutting off Oswald's balls, or maybe I thought she'd kill Victor and Oswald would be pissed about that, but it wasn't like that at all. It was the opposite. Spoilers if you don't want more. Do not continue to watch this video if you don't want more spoilers. I'm warning you now. I'm going to go in depth right now. Don't continue. At the end, we see after Oswald's mom dies in a hospital bed from a stroke, which it was a real stroke. She was dying from the fucking get-go. She had dementia. She was not lucid. She was seeing things that were not there. I had no reason to feel sorry about it because they didn't really do a lot of explaining to begin with. They didn't really do much in depth of, like, why should I feel sorry though? Why should I? Like, I understand it's sad, but why should I feel sorry? As opposed to Sophia's story, who was locked away from her father, who was a rich man and a powerful man, and the system knew him. And she was locked away for a very long time, 10 years, I believe. Beaten in Arkham prison by fucking nutheads. And she wasn't a bad guy. She was not. We see Oswald on the bench with Victor at the end there, and after his mom dies in a hospital bed, which was pretty depressing. He ends up killing Victor. Yeah, that's right. He ends up killing Vic. His last words to Vic: "You're a good guy, Vic. You got a big heart, Vic." Literally in that way. Well, we see him strangling the character and choking him out after everything that he's went through with him. He's choking him out on the bench. I understand that Penguin's a villain. I get it. And that he needed to move forward with other jobs and other stuff. I get it. I understand that aspect. I do. But Vic wouldn't have held him back. Vic was never in the way of his fucking jobs. He was never in the way of his other stuff. Vic was not in the way of the fucking Penguin. He was not in the way. That's what I'm saying. Like, he kills Vic. He leaves him there. His ID. He throws it in the fucking ocean. Or he throws it in the water. It's not the ocean. It's just like a lake. And we see the ending with Oswald meeting upstairs with the stripper, who he's been working with for a while. Which I don't really care about that character because they did not go in depth on her either. I have no reason to care about her. I have no reason whatsoever. There was nothing interesting about her character. She was not interesting. I did not. I found her lame. She was dry. She was fucking lame. Vic, I found cool and interesting. And what do? We kill him off. We choke him off. We see the ending with Oswald choking him, and it's supposed to be intriguing. Like how? I don't know. I get he's a villain, but why didn't he choke his mother? Why didn't he choke the girl that he's with now at the end? He's with a girl at the end of the show. And then we see the Batman shadow. We see sort of a Batman shadow shining upon Gotham. So why, I ask? Why do we see him choke Victor? I found his mother pretty irritating. I would have choked her first. I found her irritating. I really did. I have no reason to like her. I have no reason. Victor, I liked. I loved Victor. He was one of my favorite fucking characters in the whole show. He could have been a great sidekick to Penguin. He could have been good. He could have been. Yeah. Quite the sad ending. I would not go into it expecting much. Yeah, that's my thoughts.